You've probably heard people say, recoil gets worse as you get older, but that's not entirely true. In fact, some older shooters are experiencing less felt recoil today than they did 20 years ago. How? They discovered a setup that allows the shotgun to move with the body instead of crashing into it, and once you see the difference, you'll never look at shotgun fit the same way again. Because the biggest recoil problem for older shooters isn't age, it's setup. Today, we're breaking down the zero recoil setup that many experienced shooters use to stay comfortable, protect their bodies, and keep breaking targets for years longer than most people thought possible. And stay until the end, because the final adjustment is the one most shooters completely overlook. And it's often the biggest recoil reducer of them all. Let's be honest. Nobody enjoys getting beaten up by their shotgun. Maybe your shoulder aches after a long session. Maybe your cheek gets slapped every time you pull the trigger. Or maybe you've started shooting less because the recoil simply isn't fun anymore. The common assumption is that age is the problem, but in many cases, that's not true. The real issue is that your shotgun, your body position, and your setup are no longer working together. And when they fight each other, recoil feels dramatically worse. The good news? You don't necessarily need a new shotgun. You don't need more strength, and you definitely don't need to quit shooting. Let's start with the first piece of the puzzle. Section 1. Recoil is really energy management. Here's something that surprises many shooters. You cannot eliminate recoil. Physics won't allow it. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, but you can change how your body receives that energy. Think about a boxer taking a punch. A punch feels much harder when you're standing rigid and stiff, but if you move with it, absorb it, and roll with the impact, it feels dramatically different. Shotguns work the same way. The goal isn't stopping recoil. The goal is spreading and managing recoil. And that's exactly what the zero recoil setup does. But the first mistake most shooters make actually starts before they ever pull the trigger. Section 2. The stock fit problem. Many shooters spend thousands on shotguns, yet they never properly fit the stock. That's like buying expensive running shoes 3 sizes too small. No matter how good the equipment is, it won't perform correctly. If the stock is too short, recoil often feels sharper. If it's too long, the gun can push awkwardly into the shoulder. If the comb height is wrong, your cheek absorbs unnecessary impact. And that's where many older shooters suffer. The shotgun may technically work, but it's delivering recoil into the wrong places. When a properly fitted stock distributes force evenly across the shoulder pocket, the difference can be shocking. Some shooters immediately describe it as shooting a lighter load. And here's the interesting part. Even a perfectly fitted stock won't solve the next mistake. Section 3. The mount that creates recoil. Most people think recoil starts after the trigger pull. Wrong. It starts during the mount. Watch inexperienced shooters, and you'll often notice a gap between the stock and shoulder. Maybe it's tiny, maybe it's obvious, but that gap is dangerous. Because when the gun fires, it gains momentum before hitting the body. Instead of transferring energy smoothly, it slams into the shoulder. That's where much of the pain comes from. The solution? Build a consistent mount. The buttstock should be firmly seated in the shoulder pocket before the shot. Not jammed aggressively, not loose, just secure and repeatable. Many shooters report immediate comfort improvements from this one change alone. But now we're getting to the adjustment that surprises almost everyone. Section 4. Your body position matters more than the gun. Imagine standing perfectly upright, weight centered, body rigid. Now imagine someone shoving you unexpectedly. You'll feel every bit of that force. Now lean slightly forward, weight balanced, athletic stance. Suddenly you're much more stable. The same principle applies to recoil. Older shooters often develop a more upright posture over time, sometimes due to comfort, sometimes due to habit. But that posture can actually increase felt recoil. Instead, maintain a slight forward balance. Weight toward the front foot, upper body engaged. This allows the entire body to absorb recoil instead of isolating it in the shoulder. It's one of the simplest changes you'll ever make, and it costs absolutely nothing. But there's another factor many shooters completely underestimate. Section 5. Light loads aren't always the whole answer. Whenever recoil comes up, someone says, just shoot lighter loads. And yes, lighter loads can help, but they're not a magic solution, because poor technique with light loads can still feel unpleasant. Meanwhile, great technique with moderate loads often feels surprisingly comfortable. The smartest shooters combine both: proper fit, proper mount, proper stance, then appropriate ammunition. That's when recoil reduction really starts to multiply. And now we come to perhaps the most important upgrade available today. Section 6. Modern recoil reduction technology. This is where things get interesting. Modern recoil pads have improved dramatically. Many shooters are still using pads designed decades ago. Technology has moved forward. Today's premium recoil pads absorb energy more effectively and spread pressure across a larger area. Then there are recoil reduction systems, adjustable stocks, hydraulic units, spring-based systems, weight balancing systems. These aren't gimmicks. Many competitive shooters rely on them, especially those who want to continue shooting comfortably for decades. But even these upgrades won't help if you ignore the final piece. And this final piece is where many older shooters unknowingly sabotage themselves. Section 7. The biggest secret: don't fight the shotgun. This is the lesson many veteran shooters eventually learn. Stop fighting recoil. Work with it. Some shooters tense every muscle before the shot. Shoulders tighten, neck tightens, arms lock up. Ironically, this often makes recoil feel worse, because a rigid body absorbs impact poorly. Relaxed control is the goal. Firm enough to manage the shotgun. Relaxed enough to move naturally. When everything works together, fit, mount, stance, equipment, and body mechanics, the shotgun stops feeling violent. Instead, it feels predictable. And predictability is what comfort is all about. So let's recap the zero recoil setup. First, fit the shotgun properly. Second, eliminate gaps in your mount. Third, maintain an athletic, forward balanced stance. Fourth, choose appropriate loads. Fifth, take advantage of modern recoil reduction technology. And finally, don't fight the shotgun. Work with it. The reality is that getting older doesn't automatically mean accepting pain. Many shooters are proving that every single week. With the right setup, you can stay comfortable, stay confident, and keep enjoying the sport for years to come. If you found this helpful, hit the like button and subscribe. And tell me in the comments, which recoil reduction tip made the biggest difference for you? Because your experience might help another shooter stay in the game longer.